Well, we have to wait for me to stop talking before I can do it again.
Well, let's do it. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the Geeks Who Like Sports Mashup. As always, I'm Ray Carsillo. That's my best friend, Elias. Lee, we got a good one for the people today. Tell them what we're talking about on this week's Mashup.
Well, there's a lot of hoopla over this really fake and stupid MLB Golden Rule thing going on, where an MLB at any point in the game could just bring up a magic at bat, a golden at bat person, which is really not going to happen. But it got us thinking over here at the Geeks Who Like Sports Laboratories, where we create all of the mashups. And it's created a mashup today of if a superhero team was in a fight, maybe several of them have been defeated or they're out of the fight, and you could magically access the Geeks Who Like Sports Golden Rule and bring one person back, who would it be? So that's the mashup today is if you could bring one person back in a fight with some superhero teams, who would it be?
Yeah, and I think this is great because obviously you think of the top teams, you think of the Justice League, you think of the Avengers.
Yeah, but I don't think the answer is going to be so obvious, but yes.
Yeah, but I think you have such great rosters from these teams, right? But you've also got teams like the Outsiders. You got the Teen Titans. There's so many teams across comics that you could go to the X-Men.
We'll pick a few.
Yes, for sure. But I want to kick things off with the Avengers because to me, the obvious one, there's actually a couple, but to me, the top one is it's got to be Wanda. It's got to be Scarlet Witch. It's got to be her reality bending powers that if somehow she got knocked out in a fight, you're going to bring her back because she can basically do anything. So for me, first one off the bat, if I'm in the Avengers, Scarlet Witch, come on back up. Let's go.
You're talking about good Scarlet Witch?
Good. Well, good. Yes, good Scarlet Witch.
All right, we have to say that because she obviously turned bad in the MCU and in comic books many
she kind of goes. She's a little crazy. She goes a little back and forth.
You know what's funny about her, Ray, is that they hinted at us for years that she is the most powerful person in the MCU, and then they finally kind of proved that. And now with Agatha all along, potential for her to actually come back. We'll see on that. I don't know, man. She's a little bit of a hothead for me. And while she can do things that could go drastically the other direction, you could revive her and she could be very pissed off about that. We've kind of figured that out once. She was taken out and did come back. She was snapped away and then she came back and she was pretty mad.
Yeah, she wasn't happy about it.
She was
no
not
vision,
happy about
no
it.
Kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what if she came back? She looks at you, Ray. You go, you took everything from me.
I didn't take nothing from you. What are you talking about?
Well, that's kind of what Thanos said.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but right? Thanos did take stuff. Thanos did take
rain, hellfire. Yeah. But so are troops. Do it. So the Avengers, if I had to bring back one person, this is tough. I mean, it sounds like the MCU lost their anchor being.
Yeah.
They didn't fully say who that was, though.
That's true.
All right. Is it Cap? Is it Iron Man? I don't think it would be Iron Man.
Yeah. I don't think it is either.
This is a tough one. I'm going to bring back Agent Coulson.
Ooh.
Because everything fell apart after he died.
That is true. He was, to me, he was the heart and soul of those early Avengers movies.
Maybe he's the anchor being.
I did not see that coming. I thought you were going to say a Hulk. I thought you were going to say
it's Agent Coulson. If you think about it, all of the best Marvel stuff we got when he was around.
Yeah, except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But that was after he died, technically. So
technically,
I'm going to say this.
What was it? Fiji, Maui.
He was doing something. But my point is this:
that's where he was. Tahiti.
All the great teases for the other films, the setup for the original Avengers, which is one of the top 5 Marvel films, the original Avengers. The top 5 are pretty far ahead.
Yeah,
Agent Coulson comes back. He saves the day. There's no more problems. He figures it out. And he gets his Captain America card signed finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not just bled on, which is another way of signing them, I guess.
I guess that is like a signature of sorts.
Yes.
Interesting. So we go two very different directions. Wanda
I like Agent Coulson. I mean, they had to kill someone in that film, but look, yes. we're not ranking today, but I think the original Avengers is a top 5 film all time.
Ooh, all time.
Yes, for what it accomplished. We had never
Ooh.
seen that before.
That is an interesting question. I don't know about all time. That
Yeah.
is an interesting
On
thought.
my geek film list.
Well,
Separate it by that. In terms of geek
that's
films,
that's
top 5.
fair, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're talking if you're talking all of moviedom, you're talking like The Godfather.
I mean,
And you
I think it is on my
like
top 5, right? And I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of amazing movies in my life, but that one was special, dude. We had waited our whole lives for that moment.
yeah,
I mean, I can't think of another obviously Back to the Future's on my list.
sure,
Really think about the franchises and the movies and the moments.
yeah.
I mean, there's Shawshank Redemption would probably be on mine too.
Shawshank for sure. I mean, this is a different this is a different debate for a different day. This
That's
is a
what we
debate
do
for a
here on the
different day
Mashup, my friend.
because we do have to stay with the mashup.
Keep going
But
before we
this is
lose the
definitely
horn.
something that we will come back to on another episode. So stay tuned, folks. But anyway, that's the Avengers. Justice League. Lee, you start us off with this one. Who would you bring back from the Justice League with the golden rule in a fight?
Well, see, here's the problem with the Justice League. You know, everything in me wants to say Batman, but
Yeah.
Batman would never get knocked out.
Right.
So he can't be picked because he's always there. Right? And then it's like, oh, you go Soups. And it's like
he's the obvious choice.
He's the obvious choice, but my gut is telling me Martian Manhunter.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because he can basically do everything that Superman can do, but he can go incognito. Is he amongst us? We don't know.
That's fair. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, if I like that because he basically has Superman's powers plus a couple extra, and then plus a couple extra weaknesses. So he's
just a wimp, and I think if he comes back, he's not going to be a wimp.
That's fair. That is an interesting thought.
Give him a Green Lantern ring. Now he's invincible.
Well, and now you've led me into mine because I was going to pick Green Lantern as the heavy hitter that would have come back because again, especially if it's like Kyle Rayner who has the power of all the rings.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I don't know, he's helped the Justice League. I don't know if he was ever a full-fledged member of the Justice League. I know both obviously Hal Jordan and John Stewart were in different iterations, but Kyle, I mean, especially if you do a Kyle Rayner who has the power of the entire spectrum in particular.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically almost on a god level power there, even beyond Superman in some regards, at least in terms of the power of his mind and his willpower and whatnot.
Yes.
But that's an interesting one. I think Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern are heavy.
That would be surprise picks. Yeah, you can't go out again. Batman's never out, so
Batman's never out, and
even
Superman
when he's dead,
is
he's
the
not
obvious choice, like you said. For
but
sure.
My attitude is if Soups got taken out, he'll get taken out again.
That's also true,
right? For Green Lantern or Martian Manhunter, something had to happen,
right?
You know what I mean?
It's hard to separate the Green Lantern from his ring,
right?
So. Yeah, I think that if and then he comes back, he's not gonna make the same mistake twice, no matter which Green Lantern.
Soups would do the exact same thing again.
There's a distinct possibility of that for sure.
He's not the smartest guy in the universe.
No, he's not dumb, but he's definitely not as smart as some of the other members of the team.
Right.
For sure. All right. Moving on now back to Marvel, the X-Men.
Ooh, this is a hard one.
This is a hard one because you have so many characters who have been X-Men in the past. And again, similarly, kind of like Wolverine is not going to get taken out, and if he does, he's going to regenerate anyway. So
he's
he's just always there. Me, I could do the joke one of Gambit. Woo, about to make a name for myself. But for me, it's one of my personal favorites. It's going to be Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I think his ability to teleport, his swordsmanship, his, again, kind of heart and soul for the team, kind of the team's conscience at some points. Close second would be Colossus for me. Those are my two. Yeah, exactly, from the arcade game. But I'm going to go Nightcrawler. I think because of his teleportation ability, I think being able to get behind enemy lines, I think being able to keep people off balance, always seems to have a ace up his sleeve. That's another Gambit reference. But no, Nightcrawler, I think, would be my pick.
Nightcrawler. Well, I don't agree with you on this. I do love Nightcrawler.
Surprise.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna kind of. You can't bring Jean Grey because the Phoenix could show up and ruin everything.
Again, regenerates her anyway. Resurrects her.
Same thing with Professor X. He's also kind of annoying.
Yes.
But I actually think X-Men 97 answered this question for us already, Ray. And I think What If answered this question. Storm Storm
Oh
is
yeah,
so powerful, and they
yeah,
always underutilize her.
yeah,
And we have extreme proof from the comics, from the
yeah,
TV shows, from films, that
yeah,
when you piss her off,
yeah,
she's taken over.
yeah,
When she gets over her PTS,
yeah,
all right, which is usually what takes her out. God bless her.
yeah,
She comes back 1,000 times stronger and remembers, oh yeah, I control the weather.
yeah.
Storm is my pick. 10
Yeah,
out of 10 times.
Omega level weather mutant.
Yes,
That's a
I
good
am.
call.
I am ready for them to do her justice, and I
Yes.
think that in What If, when she's Thor Storm,
Yeah.
the god of thunder and lightning,
Yeah.
I think that's gonna show people how powerful she is. They did a great job in X-Men '97,
Yeah.
but there's always been the debate of who's the real leader of the X-Men, and at
Yeah.
times it's her. All right, so Storm is my pick to come back.
Awesome. Well,
I love
balance
Nightcrawler.
it out.
I do love Nightcrawler.
Yes. No, I think that's a great pick. To balance it out, we'll do one more DC team, right? Because okay, one more. My math is I'm having
You're
I'm
correct.
not
Are we-
mathing my math today.
Are we doing Suicide Squad? Are we doing villains? I mean, maybe we should do a villain group here.
That's a good call. I was gonna think maybe
Yeah.
Teen Titans, but I like Suicide Squad more. That's a
Yeah,
great.
We need some
call
rogue
there.
gallery stuff here.
Yeah, we can. This way, we can get some villains in. I mean, well, when I think of the Suicide Squad, I don't really think of the movies. I think of the comics, and the comics that had such a great rotation of Suicide Squad characters over the years. And for me, the one that always comes to to me, I go with Bane. I would go with Bane, right? Again, powerhouse, very smart. Forced into the Suicide Squad, like most of them against their will. Not a traditional Suicide Squad lineup guy, but in the comics, he was part of it at one point. And I think that's part of what's interesting about this pick is that you could kind of go, it's almost at some point or another. I feel like most of the DCU has been part of the Rogues Galleries have been part of the Suicide Squad at some point. Lee, who would you pick for the Suicide Squad?
Well, Ray, I hate to be cliche, but I'm going to say Harley Quinn.
Oh, I know it.
For personal reasons.
Well, fair enough. Right. I will not delve into those.
If you want to know, watch Harley Quinn and Nightwing. If you want to know, there's about 600 other examples. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Yeah. I'm not saying more. I'm just saying.
No need to say anymore.
Harley Quinn. People get it. If she's not around, I'm not watching Suicide Squad.
That's all.
Or reading Suicide Squad.
That's a fair point.
Or any of it.
Those are all fair points.
Yeah, I mean, King Shark, I love you, man, but no.
Yeah, no King Shark. No hand. Yeah, no, don't need that. No.
I do think we need to do one more. I'm sorry to do this to you. But if we're going to do Rogues Galleries, we have got to do the Sinister 6.
Oh.
Like, kind of have to do it. It'll be uneven, but it's okay.
I was going to say I was glad not Thunderbolts.
No. I'm not. Thunderbolts will be more popular soon, but Sinister 6 is iconic. It always has been.
And again, this is another group that's had a lot of different variations over the years.
Yeah. But I mean, the main Spider-Man Rogue Gallery is there.
Yeah, and to me, the leader of that, I think, is the guy I would want, especially because he's done so much, especially in recent years with Superior Spider-Man. Yep. I always go to Doc Ock.
We're going to agree on this. That's amazing.
We finally agree on one. Yes.
Doc Ock. Yes, yeah. I agree with you on that. One of the greatest villains in comic book history.
Agreed. I think that I don't think he gets.
Yeah,
he does not get nearly enough credit. And I think that that's also part of his charm. It's because he has that inferiority complex, and I think is very greatly underestimated by many.
Well, even in film, it translates. So look, I Goblin in the original Spider-Man films, and I guess modern Spider-Man films, really great villain. Yeah. But you have no empathy for William Dafoe's character. You don't feel anything. Like when he's got the multiple personality disorder between Osborn and the Goblin. Yeah. You're never rooting for the guy.
Yeah.
Right. He's evil. And that's a great villain. But the better villain is Molina's Doc Ock. Where you feel for this guy. And then when
it's the tragic villain.
Spoiler 20 years later, but you know, he sacrifices himself for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's you know,
it's
wow.
the same as when Paul Dini wrote Mr. Freeze and gave him that tragic backstory.
Yes, great.
You make him when you have a tragic villain, it makes them that much more epic.
Thanos was a bit of a tragic villain, right? I mean,
a little bit
in the way they did it in the MCU.
There's shades that in the comics he is not a tragic villain.
No, not at all. But in the MCU they accomplished that. Again, for those of you listening, the comics have him chasing Lady Death, which is weird because she's around now. But
yes,
that's going to probably be explored some other way.
And also loves Deadpool, which is a whole other story.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, that's yes, a whole other story. But I will say that Doc Ock is one of the greatest villains of all time. And does not get what he deserves in terms of I would say Alfred Molina did him justice. I would say
100%.
Just
100%.
It could have been even bigger. And again, when you think about Spider-Man, what was it, Far From Home, No Way Home? No Way Home. Yeah, the last one.
No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home.
I mean, the original villain stole the show in that one.
Yes.
But Doc Ock that moment with him.
Again, he redeemed himself again.
Yeah, and that's what he does. That's what he does. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and again,
William Dafoe doesn't in the comics as superior Spider-Man. He is a true tragic figure, and it is wonderful.
He was holding his punches. Doc Ock is my pick.
There we go.
But
we want to know what you think. So, as always, comment below. Yep, like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate it as always. Again, check out the regular episode, of course, and we'll be back next week with more Geeks Who Like Sports. And this has been the Mashup.
Like and share, subscribe today. Watch out, comment below. Okay.